Hello, today is January 31st, 2021, and I'm going to do a mediumistic style reading on Dolores O'Riordan of the Cranberries. You may or may not be familiar with her and her band. I will be putting later, after I get the video up, links in the description box to her astrological birth chart where I get the information from that I am about to refer to before I commence the reading. It helps me to dial into her. So Dolores was born in Limerick. Her birthday was September 6th, and she had her sun, of course, in Virgo. Her moon was in Aries. Her ascendant was in Capricorn. Her midheaven is Scorpio. Now, her main three planets that were dominant were Jupiter, Neptune, and Saturn. And given what I do know of her, and I'm familiar with her and her music and her band and a bit about her life, it makes sense to me. And incidentally, in case you were wondering, this is I'm getting this information from astrotheme.com. In Chinese astrology, she was a metal pig, and in numerology, her birth path was 6, and she was a mere 5'3.5". But she was a whole inch and a half taller than me. But that was when I could stand. Anyway, aside from her reading, one of the reasons I've always also liked her myself and been somewhat fascinated is we have similar heritage. Our birthdays are very close. Her birthday is September 6th, mine's the 5th, and of course on my dad's side there's Irish. So, and anyway, that's my interest, and I really enjoyed her music. And when she passed, it was very sad to me. I understood that she was having issues, and my heart went out to her. So I'm going to do 2 readings. Firstly, so this may end up being a kind of a pair. One where we're looking at just her and what she wants to share from spirit, and then anything regarding her passing, looking at her passing. Because there were people that wanted to know about her passing. Apparently, there are people that, sorry, I've got to, as you know, I slide on this bed. And it's so annoying. I have to get a little bit of help from my family and get a sheet put back on so I'm not. So we're going to look at her passing. I think we'll start with that first. And her general message from herself, I will tap into. I think I will be more able to dial into that once I do this. That will be quite possibly in the second video. All right. Dolores O'Riordan. I'm asking Spirit, the ancestors, and Dolores, if she's willing, to communicate through the tarot and relate the information that the universe and Dolores wishes to share. And I say it like this because I want them to share what they want to share. I don't want to push and be disrespectful. And sometimes we need to check ourselves. So my approach is a little different. So I ask Spirit and Dolores and the universe, with regard to Dolores, your death, what is it that you wish for us to understand? Okay. What is it that you wish for us to understand about your passing, your death? Dolores O'Riordan. Dolores O'Riordan, what do you wish for us to understand about your death? Because I wish to be respectful to you and this very sensitive topic. Okay. Let's lay down some cards. Well, we have the Nine of Wands. Again, I read in pairs, and generally 3 rows of pairs. Okay. That's the Queen of Swords. This is Wheel of Fortune, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. The first thing she's letting me know, and yes, I am looking for my... The first thing she's letting me know is that she was telling me, I was able to dial in to her telepathically, which I can do that sometimes with people. Other people I can't, you know. So I just thought I'd try, and it worked. And then the cards related, so I feel like I'm on with picking up on her. And what she's telling me is, she's very, firstly, at the time of her passing, around about that time, she was very caught up in her own mind. Is what she's saying is like a very, and I can totally understand this, being kind of somewhat that myself. But she was just saying, yeah, I was caught up in my own mind and overthinking to the point of exhaustion, and having more problems with her mental health, definitely. But having been like fighting this battle for already a considerable period of time. People don't really understand that, even when they read, she's saying that what was going on in her life, they don't understand the real struggle, that how much of a struggle it was for her mentally. There is perfectionism that she had here. Very harsh tendency toward herself and her own work. I'm getting that many people would say, that sounds great, and she'd be, no, 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 got to do it again. There's an obsessive quality here too, I feel, that she was getting exhausted by in her life. And I feel like she was getting tired with this card. She was managing to come through a lot of these challenges, but she was tired. They'd taken a toll on her, is what she's making me to feel. It's, you know, something, parts of herself she was working on. Yes. And this is her, she's speaking about trying to change from a pattern that began in her youth. This would be, to me, this is indicative of time and change with the Wheel of Fortune. And this, I feel like, is her evolving, trying to evolve from, I think, her teen years, in particularly adolescence and up. There was something significant I'm getting here. By then, she's saying, I'd already gone through a lot of change. And I'm sure there's loss of her father and other challenges. But she was a perfectionist, and she was also obsessed with it to the point that I believe she would run it over and over again in her head. And it may have been what she was trying to relax from that night, because I see her feeling like, ooh, something's really taken it out of her. This, I think, battle within herself. And to do, I'm sure, with other people too. Let's get the next line down. There's the Queen of Wands falling under the Nine of Wands. So there's two women here. And I feel this most definitely would be Dolores, because she was Virgo. Let's just see how the energy goes. She did have the Aries moon. I don't recall there being an air placement. Libra. Oh, maybe there was. Okay. Let's just take a look. There's, and clarity, the change. Bringing light to something. I see a man. There's warmth around him. These could have also okay, here I feel like this is when she's being greeted or crossed over. I feel like this could have been her father even, because I get this bright light, and that change and big shift with the Wheel of Fortune. I think this is a message that also things just fell into, unfortunately, the right order for her to pass that night, despite the fact I see her being tired, and I see her being dedicated and trying to work very hard, but it really taking a lot out of her. Okay, I definitely get that. And being kind of a mental type person, at least at that time, the night of her passing, and close to that time window, I feel like she was really thinking things over a lot. There, we've got a lot of writing, reading, trying to process information. And I feel like she was trying to help herself past issues that sprang from her adolescence onward, wanting to really make a big shift there. She is called to go. That's what she's letting us know here. Now, I know people have their ideas about her death and whatever. Man, I'm not here to say anything about that. I'm just going to give you what I get with my cards. You may or may not agree. That's fine. But I know that people can get very invested. I certainly do in what they feel and believe to be true. So, sorry, I have allergies. Oh, and I even took my tablets, but I'm still having a problem. But what I'm getting here is like, there's a time window that opens up. I'm getting two areas that make me feel and I feel like that's her father, dealing with that. I think he came to escort her back. And had been around her since he passed. Remaining close to her, I'm getting. And I feel like it was her time, actually, with the Wheel of Fortune. Again, it was a time when there's something to me that feels like things just fell into place and the window comes open and she's ready to go. It feels just that easy. It feels just that's the energy that I'm picking up. I'm getting also there may have been two if these are not aspects of herself, I feel they were also there to I don't know if like this could be a mother and a sister even, but I'm not this could also be guides here. Either way, I feel like she's brought over and assisted to light, and in this light there is, I feel like, her father waiting for her. But I do feel like this is a possible spiritual kind of help, escort, because she was just so depleted energetically, I think, from her life. Even in passing, just it took it, because again there's that Nine of Wands, and if, again, that feeling of that her chi, her basic life energy, I feel like was strained and felt like it had been diminished by experiences. There's something there with that I can't quite put into language, but that I can feel. I feel like she is definitely with on the other side, a close female, and with her father. Very happy about that. Very happy about being with these people again. And I feel like she felt this woman was calling her. For me, in this case, I see two things. I see her being tired from work, and doing something over and over again, trying to do something. Maybe that's her moon in Aries affecting this, but this woman made herself do stuff over and over again until she perfected. There's this perfectionism, but it was draining her, and it wasn't helpful, actually. Okay. It was draining her life force in this way. She was trying to increase a skill. And she was doing so while she was depleted, in a depleted state. Here, again, I'm getting spirits, two women spirits that come around her, and they offer, I think, to take her to her dad. Yeah, and she's eager to go. She goes. And these females feel like they're calling. She feels like she hears them or calling. This is also kind of summoning to me. And appeal. Let's go. So let's pull another couple cards. Little clarity. 9 of Pentacles and the 6 sorry guys, of Wands. Now, she feels, I'm getting on the other side there, that she can appreciate herself there. She wasn't able to do that. I think what she's telling me when she was on Earth, living in a body, because her brain, she kept going, showing me it goes back over and over and over, and sometimes that it wouldn't just shut off. To the point that it becomes obsessant, that you know how if something isn't right, how it will trouble you or weigh on your mind. But for her, she couldn't put it in perspective and go, okay, I need to have a break from that. I think she would be, and I kind of understand this, when you get in a group, towards running to what I'm getting at, self-neglect. You can get tunnel vision. I've often done this when I'm working on something. Sorry, I had to start. There's no pause on this, so I have to begin again. So I feel like she didn't know when to pull back with her perfectionist tendencies. And when she went to work, I feel like, and set herself to work, I'm feeling that she would push herself too hard, to the point of exhaustion, out of perfectionism. And the problem was, at the time of her, she's showing me at the time of her passing, was she didn't quite have the life force energy. I know that sounds fluffy and woo-woo, but it's what I'm getting. It's like we come into the world and we do have a force, life force of energy that's flowing through us. And I feel like I'm being shown that at that night, already through her experiences, just even from adolescence, a good deal of that energy had been stressed, depleted, not healed. And so there was a lot of damage done that, and I think that when she did seek to try to get some help for it, it had gotten to a point that it had worsened. I'm feeling that it was more developed, as often is the case when we neglect our taking care of our health, mentally and physically. And I have done this, so I am not passing judgment on her in any way. Not at all. In fact, I'm very empathetic. She was trying, I think, really trying very hard to change and to begin to do the work she needed to do with regard to her career, and also on herself personally. But I feel that when she was out trying to promote her work, I feel like her energy was, well, I'm shown it was already in a depleted state. She probably shouldn't have been trying to tour or whatever. I'm thinking she should have been definitely actually getting some kind of care. But she was focused like a laser on her work. I see that very clearly. And this kind of obsessive nature that she's had for a very long time ended up, I feel like, creating a situation finally where things just kind of fell into place. She was tired. She wasn't feeling, I don't believe, quite mentally up to par. She felt a bit beaten up. But I'm getting that it goes back to her past, and it's something that she was trying to, and had for some time, tried to work through, but it didn't happen. You know, it was still, that damage was there. So a bit of a great deal of strength within her, but also certain fragility at that point. She really, I think, needed to be resting. This happens a lot to entertainers. They need the money. They feel the pressure, and sometimes the desire to go out there. But their health, physically and mentally, may not quite be up to the task of touring or doing shows. It's very, very draining. And that's what I get. I just think it just took it out of her. And she was tired also on a spiritual level, energetically. So I feel like there's two feminine types of spirits that come to her. And assist her to be there with her father. And I feel like she's saying, I can appreciate my work now. Before, I couldn't really appreciate what I'd done because I was so blinkered, to the point that I was neglecting my health and well-being. I wasn't conscious of it. I was so focused. And I was trying to learn how to be more aware of that. She feels satisfied here on the other side, with that 9 of Pentacles and that 6 of Wands. She feels a sense of accomplishment and recognition. This touches her deeply. The recognition of her as a unique individual, as a woman of unique talent and unique poetic skill, who worked very hard from the 8 to the 9 to build her success. Somehow, some way, she just wasn't able to appreciate it on Earth. I think she was too self-critical, honestly. Now, here we go with the Seven of Cups, which can be addressing the issue of substance. Yeah. And the Hanged Man, which means I feel like she's giving me to feel that she wasn't able to push beyond a certain point. There was a certain, I think, fog that she had where I think different ideas that she had creatively were appealing to her. Things that she may have put off prior that she felt like she couldn't put off anymore. There's a message in there. There's also a message here of succumbing to the use, surrendering, and kind of just succumbing to the Eight of, this is substance. I think that it made her feel nostalgic, whatever it was that she tended to use. And because I'm going back to the past again with that Six of Cups and that Three of Wands, where she's thinking it's almost like what could have been if things were different, or how she wants to communicate that. There's inspiration from her past that expands outward to the rest of the world. I feel like, too, it was a cocktail when I look here. More than one thing, more than one substance that caused her, I think, to go into probably cardiac arrest or the slowing down of her heart. Puts her in like a comatose almost state. And I do think, I'm being shown, I see here, she's reviewing her past. She's there with her dad. And that's what I get on her passing. Wow, only 11 minutes? I felt like I went in half an hour. Okay, good. Well, that is what I'm getting on her passing. The message that she wants to share. And because we are at the 11.5 minute mark, I'm going to throw down another on her passing to see just with a different deck. I'll use the Common Threads Oracle. This is by Marie Palmer. You can find it on Etsy, or at least that's where I found mine. It's a very beautiful deck. It has peeled with my bad shuffling, but it still nonetheless has held up quite well. I have to mend that. So I should set this deck aside after I'm done with it. I have a few decks I need to fix the flap. All right, so we want to ask Spirit again, through the use of this deck, Common Threads and Dolores, with regards to her passing, what we need to know, what she wishes to share, what is important for us to understand about her death. What is important for us to understand about Dolores O'Riordan's death? Okay, I'm getting a card that wants to just jump right out. Inner vision. That's the one I need to fix as well. Persistence. Again, I'm getting a sense of her in that overdoing it card. That sense of obsessive ness and perfectionist with work again. Also with the inner vision, it's because I feel like spiritually she could sense and feel finer things than what she may have struggled to produce, the way she was perceiving it in within her inner mind and inner ear and awareness. That just came to me. So that may have been a point of frustration for her. It's like, I can't quite get what I'm wanting to replicate or what I'm wanting to create. I'm wondering about that. Okay, spiritual guidance. This card was reversed. So was the artist. Now, normally I don't read them, but I feel like this time, yeah. It's saying not paying attention to one's spiritual senses and guides, as well as one's own higher self. And this is blinkered to me in a way, because it's so focused like a laser onto work or something one was creating, that I think she missed some important considerations as an artist that she needed to honor for her own well-being. That's kind of like a big red flag, like, hey, 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 wait. The Lovers. This is a harmony she was trying to, I feel like, establish. It's also choices, picky. Again, the other deck, when I did the other reading, showed, again, that it's about an aesthetic, that she was trying to reach. Journey. Star. And I get gratitude reversed. Well, I think there was some issues that she was having with feeling like an artist. Because these are flipped, and it's just, and there's a part of a deeper part of herself that may have been overlooked for the superficial concerns. There may have been also a creative block going on. Yeah. And I feel that this was something that she was struggling with, trying to get that channel to open up. Also, she had been out of the spotlight for a while. And so I think there were certain things. I almost feel like these are insecurities of her own, that she wasn't an artist, that she wasn't, that people didn't, no longer were interested, or I'm just getting that. And I kind of got that earlier, and that now she realizes how loved she really was, and how I think at her passing, I think it really stunned her that so many people cared. I don't know why, but many times people don't fully realize. I think she could finally feel it there. Compassion and judgment. You know, she was very a harsh judge of herself. I'm just getting very hard on herself. And when she passed, I think she's realized that. I also feel like she was trying to meet the superficial standards of entertainment to the neglect of, I think, a spiritual need of healing. And it was damaging her. While she was pursuing that, she should have been pursuing, and it's, again, I'm not blaming her, but it's too bad that the industry is the way it is. There should be these people should be getting help, not being feeling like, oh, I've got to get out there and earn some money again. Because a lot of times I feel like some of these artists, and definitely her among them, go out before they're completely ready, when they are very vulnerable and don't well, it's just too exhausting for them. So I see her having been harsh on herself. I think probably her own worst enemy. Just a voice of perfectionism, like, that's not good enough, do it again. And I think this voice in her head is what really spawned the neglect of her well-being, um, because she was trying, oddly enough, ironically enough, to be perfect, or to make something perfect, to look perfect, or to at least meet the appeal. But she felt it like there was so much energy she was truly putting into it, just drained. And to me, this is when she passed, she just has all this compassion, all this love, and all this understanding around her that she couldn't, I don't think, permit herself to receive, or open to receive, when she was alive. Nurture, yeah, and nurturing and forgiving herself. That's the wound within. And I feel like it's a signal, too, that the cause of her death was her own inner wounds. People don't realize that low self-esteem is a killer, just as much as stress is a killer. And she had stress, she had low self-esteem. I don't see her energy as looking particularly vibrant at all at the time. She looks like she was exhausted. And it looks like also there was the window of within her spiritual arrangement to exit, and she decided to exit. I definitely feel that. See, two women came for her, helped her to her father, able to see herself and her work and her legacy that she's left, and appreciate her efforts, her own efforts, finally. But I don't think she could while she was alive. And I think there was self-harm. I'm getting to learning to love herself. That she's perfect, just understanding she's perfect just the way she is. Whereas this world often says you have to look like that, you have to sing like this, you know, all these conditions. And she is just enveloped in this embrace, a healing embrace of energy that's just holding her, healing that old wound from childhood, all that pain, the anorexia and all of that. I'm really glad to see that. Community, Wheel of Fortune. There's community where she's at. People from all various times. That's what she's telling me. She can go and visit with these different realities. And she's enjoying this exploration because she feels safe. She's saying that in her life, she was really afraid a lot. And then there's the anxiety, and just picking up on that. And so this feeling, one of the reasons why, of course, people can feel so at peace, she's saying, on the other side, is because they receive healing, if they're open to it, once they transition, up anything that may have been left, in a depleted state. So I definitely see like this, definitely just compassionate envelope of her guides, her father, and I think community on the other side is what she's saying. There's other people there, I'm getting, that I just got her saying, there's people that had passed that she knew from her childhood and from working, and she's seeing them again and able to socialize without the anxiety or the need, she's saying, for anything to make her feel that confident. She's much more at peace. You continue to grow on the other side. What else am I getting from her? What else do you want to share about the other side, Dolores? Well, again, the healing aspect, new life, that you do not, you may have an end here of a body, but you go on. It is not the end. You do not just disappear. There is also for her a real sense of revitalization of her being. And she is still, at this time, I feel like, for us, time-wise, healing. She's still, undergoing healing from this lifetime. But she's also indicating that there's, your body, you do have a form, it's a light body. It's just not it's an energetic body. She has tremendous, energy there too. Yeah. That things that this time that she just couldn't manage to get healed in this life, I feel like they just enveloped her. Okay? Yeah, she has others that are helping her to rebuild her strength, her chi, her vital energy. It's so beautiful to describe. I just feel like they just envelop her and just are just sending energy into her. And that's what I get with regard. Okay? So now I'm going to stop this here, and I'm going to go to film the second part with Dolores and anything that she wants to share. Period. So I'll see you in part 2.